Hello and welcome to lesson 25 of the Learning Guitar series. Today we're discussing the shape of A minor, and when I say the shape of A minor, I mean the shape that starts from this basic chord. I'm sure we are all familiar with it. So just A minor, but we call it a shape because we start from the idea that being the guitar a transposing instrument, I can always place a barré and transpose the shape itself in all other keys. Okay, so that's not, I call it a shape of A minor. It's not, doesn't mean like it's an A minor chord. It's an A minor chord, obviously, if it's placed here, or of course at the 12th fret, okay, transposing instrument. Here is still the same shape of A minor, obviously, but here is my root note when it comes to the shape, and you'll see this in the PDF, obviously. This is D minor, okay, because this is the D note, or this is F minor, and the shape stays the same. So let's have a quick look at the PDF, what it presents. As you can see here, we already studied these particular shapes in lesson 13 when it comes to the scale. So you can keep doing the intervals, triads, extended triads, and group picks exercises that you did back then. And, you know, this is great because it kind of limits the amount of practice you have to do. So whatever you did in lesson 13 is still valid, okay? So you just keep doing that. And so if you were studying intervals, so in this case like seconds, intervals, thirds, fourths, you know, etc., etc., you can just keep doing that as it applies to Dorian too, you know, exactly the same. What differs in this case, obviously, is the arpeggios. And as you can see, I have the arpeggios written here from the root, so you learn where your root note is, and different variation, minor, minus 7, minus 6, other 9, 9, etc. The full minor caged arpeggio, and here we are referring to the cage system. Full minor 7 and just a triad. And 2 octaves we can reach within the same, let's say, box for G minor 7 and G minor 6. I'll show you how to practice this. It's highlighted in the exercises you'll see in the PDF, but just, you know, to give you an idea. So take any of the arpeggios, I say like, you know, just a triad. I'm gonna start in the lowest kind of available fret for me. This case is B flat. Sorry again. So when I have a B flat minor triad, so 1 flat 3 5, and I'm just gonna move it chromatically up and down just to have some muscle memory of it. And as I move up, I'm going to tell myself, and they should do the same obviously, what key are you playing? So in other words, let's say I'm going to repeat the same arpeggio 4 times and then move up. So that's B flat, that's B, and you might want to look at the guitar obviously. C, C sharp or D flat, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp. And in time probably you'll be able to just do it chromatically. And you know, when you reach up on the guitar, you might also come back down the neck. Same thing, then you take minor 7 and you start doing, you know, like you can do it this way. And as I highlighted in the PDF, of course you might want to practice arpeggio backwards. So like starting in this case from the flat 7. So forth and so on. So now I am in D minor, okay? Sorry, E minor, G minor, A minor, C minor. And you might want to try it alternated. So what I mean by that is, say you ascend, say B flat minor 7, and you descend B, C, C sharp, D, E flat, E. So it sounds like this. Okay, you might want to practice this stuff with a metronome. I'm not, so that I don't have to go switch it on, switch it off, etc. But same thing, you have minor 6, minor 9, or minor 9 can also be executed this way. I kind of, you know, if you like stretching, or this, you have string skipping instead. Then 7/9, so you have this kind of. Same thing, like you might have 6/9. You might want to do it this way or this way. It's, you know, whatever you find comfortable. Then minor 11. So obviously this is D minor 11 arpeggio. D minor 13. So basically 11 is like the 4th in the 2nd octave and 13 is the 6th in the 2nd octave. So this is the full modular arpeggio for Dorian. So you have 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. And as we studied in the harmony and theory session, we know that we're adding 9, 11, and 13. And that's my 13. So for example, here I'm in F sharp. This is G minor 13 spelled as an arpeggio. Okay? And in fact, to say like, you know, let's go back to D. Right? Now, I think what's important for you at this stage is to understand the differences that there are in between major and minor. In other words, any exercise, and there is some in the PDF, that makes you alternate in between, say, D Ionian as an arpeggio and as a scale, and D Dorian as an arpeggio and as a scale. We know that as an horizontal structure, so as a scale, Dorian goes 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and root note. And it's a minor type of scale because it contains 1, flat 3, and 5. So the scale from the root is like this, no? And of course it sounds different from D Ionian, because D Ionian we know is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and is a major scale. Okay, again, and I can do this over 2 octaves. Or I can use the cage system, so I start from the 5th. So this will be my major, my Ionian. And this is my Dorian. The important part about the theory behind is that the moment I say, okay, I'm going to add the 13, I need to know that I can add the 13 because I'm in Dorian. So I suggest you start practicing Ionian versus Dorian so your ears get trained to the difference. So in other words, take any key you want. Maybe you change key on a daily basis. In this case, we're staying in D. And you literally go like Ionian, Dorian. At this stage, with the lesson for what regards Dorian, we are at the 4th shape. We're still missing 1. So if we go back to our G key of G, we can do G Ionian. Then practice G Dorian. And hear the difference. And you can hear the difference, I'm sure. And then same thing in the next. So you're going from G major to G minor. So yeah. Minor. You can do the same for the first 4 shapes at this stage. Even more importantly is the arpeggios. So you might want to do major, like in this case, major 7, minor 7. But again, once again, you can hear the difference. And as you do it, you'll remember the intervals. You'll start remembering where your root notes are, where your thirds are, flat 3, fifths, because you can start seeing the differences, at least in between major and minor. So you can see like here is moving from chord 1 to chord 2. So because it's in the key of G, in this case you're going from F major to G minor, from G minor to F major. This should be relatively easy to do. And then of course I put like from major to minor, which is what I just discussed. So scales and arpeggios and combining the two. Finally, connecting shapes. Now you have 4 shapes of Dorian. So trying to move, say if you do it in the key of G, trying to move from one shape to the next. So far we've done the shape of E minor, shape of D minor. Then we looked at last maybe like less than a month ago, shape of C minor. And now we're looking at shape of A minor. And you want to start connecting them. So in other words, maybe like come down with the first shape, come up with the second, come down with the third one, come up with the fourth. So you get used to the idea. Same thing with the arpeggio. I want to like down, I'm going down like -7, come up in the following shape. Just to get, a visual map of, a photographic map of where things are. One last thing, I'm going to give you a few suggestions, things as usual you can do in terms of, okay, we practice the scale when you feel comfortable in terms of kind of knowing it like on a basic level, okay? Then you might want to sit down and play, literally play. And as usual, I suggest maybe if you have a loop pedal or one of these apps where you can have something, you can loop something, or like say a band in a box type of app. Or, there is backing tracks in 12 keys. Ultimately, the idea is just loop a chord. In this case, I'm going to use D minor as a demonstration. And try and play, literally play a solo, okay? Technically, try as long as, be creative as much as you can with the tools that you know so far, right? Try and exploit as much as possible, fragments of interval studies or fragments of arpeggios, fragments, whatever it is that you know at that stage. The best way to learn guitar, beside, practicing, is actually playing. As a matter of fact, the more you play, the more you learn, okay? But it's also true that the practice is for you a way to incorporate language, okay? Learning words. If you remember, like very, very beginning. Alphabet, words, and then phrases. And you try and learn, say, a new word. So when you study an interval, in this case, you're studying, say, a new arpeggio. And, that's a bit of alphabet. And the moment you start maybe doing it in group of 3, group of 4, like in the PDF, right? That slowly becomes part of your phrasing. So you end up with things like, I don't know. A little bluesy feel, that's an alteration, right? But as you can see, the moment I play that way, you can actually hear the chord even if there is no chord playing. Start from the PDF and, maybe watch this lesson more than once. You might pick up things here and there that you might want to look into. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, enjoy both practicing and playing.